What is going on, true believers? It's going to be a big day in cryptocurrency. Could we see $97,000 Bitcoin coming up any moment now? I think the answer to that is going to be a resounding yes. The fear and greed index is continuing to pump. We've got Polygon ready for a breakout. We've got meme coin changes that are happening over at Binance. We've got Wall Street giants loading up on MicroStrategy, which is up, by the way, 28x in the last year. Michael Saylor looking like a genius. But the important thing is this XRP rally isn't even really started yet. So we're going to talk about all that and more. We're going to try to speed through this. I don't want to waste a whole lot of your time today. This is not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys. So I hope you can hear me. According to this, I'm having some sort of or potentially some kind of connection issue. So we'll see. Anyway, fear and greed index topping in at 90 today. We are still in extreme fear. And guys, it hasn't changed any in the last bunch of days. We go back to 3 months, and it takes a long time to get down here into these lower portions. So I would say that the bull run has officially commenced. When we go back and look at it, of course, we'll talk about January of 2023 being the start of the Bitcoin bull run, but we're really looking for altcoins. That's where the life-changing money is going to come for those of us who are investors. So 90 right now, and it looks like we are ready for an absolute sending. Now I'm going to show you what the market structure looks like. We're going to spend a lot of time looking at charts today. So let's get into it. XRP to reach $3 by the end of 2024. And this is what I say when I say that I don't think this XRP rally is over yet. I think that this is going to continue on. There's no reason other than general profit taking for XRP to stop right about where it is right now. This is, we're waiting for that big continuation move. And I'm going to show you on the charts why the continuation is such a big deal and why, if you really look at it and you really start to break down these prices, that you will see that a lot of these projects, a lot of this over here is just ready to absolutely soar. Now, Peter Brandt, famous investor and famous trader, he noted that XRP is steadily breaking its previous highs, with its 2023 high of 82 cents well behind it. He noted that XRP's price has performed a massive coil over the past few weeks, meaning that it has been trading within an increasingly narrow range, but it's clear that the coin has now broken out from this new tight range, with the election and the pro-crypto Donald Trump seemingly kickstarting a new bull market. XRP has benefited from this bull market more than many other major tokens, giving Brad Garlinghouse has met with Trump in recent days. By the way, it should be noted, Brian Armstrong is also going to have a private meeting with Donald Trump coming up in the next few days, which would be a massive move to the benefit of Coinbase. And remember, Coinbase is probably not feeling it yet, but they're going to be under a lot of pressure. Why are they going to be under pressure? Because crypto.com seemingly is just coming out of nowhere with all kinds of new stuff. In the next year, Crypto.com will officially become a bank. They will officially be issuing their own credit cards. They will also have their own stable credit cards that, you already use your Crow card, but you're going to be able to use an updated version of that going forward. And you're going to be able to trade stock options. You're going to be able to trade futures options and commodities. Crypto.com has not come to play anymore. They mean serious business. Now, what we've seen so far is, if we just predict, by the way, what this rally would look like, we're going to take this out because this is actually the range that we're in. We're going to remove that. And we'll look at Crow. And where does Crow go from here? Well, we had that back test. We came into the golden zone. It gave us a breakout to 236. Now, what's the next step? The next step is to come back down here for another test. So a little bit of downward pressure. Then we come and test the high one more time at 23 cents, and we come back down here. How far down the wick goes, I don't know, but then that's when we get the big breakout, and we could be looking at a 50% breakout or a 50-cent breakout coming up in the next little while, which is going to be about a 3x from where it is right now. But that's the structure that this market has been taking in the last little while. We're getting a pump, we're getting a secondary minor pump, we're getting it through this range, we're coming back up and we're retesting our previous top, then we're coming back down into the golden zone, and then we're taking off like a rocket from there, and it keeps happening over and over again. So I would suspect that that's probably going to be the next thing. And remember, the narrative is incredibly bullish right now on Crypto.com. So as it continues to grow, and as we continue to see that, it's only a matter of time before we get another big breakout. And it should be noted that the last big breakout was 220% just in this month alone. So Crow, nice big breakout. Continuation certainly is coming very, very soon. So, but that, by the way, is just one piece here along with XRP. So looking at the chart today, XRP is experiencing short-term correction. What does that look like? Well, XRP is at $1.08 right now. When we say short-term correction, are we even talking correction? We are in this massive candle right here. And in fact, if we just kind of look, I mean, it's pushing upwards and it's consolidating downwards any moment now. If we look at this on the hour, by the way, probably looks a little bit better. If we look at it on the hour, look at that. It's perfectly playing out for a big move. And we just came down to the low part of that range. We should pump back up. And then this would be where a breakout happens. And we start taking off into $1.59, which is basically what I told you guys the other day. So $1.59 would be that next big move. So, and by the way, if you look at it from this context, a standard correction to this breakout would be, let's kind of take this and raise that up, change our expectation just a little bit. So we see that right now could be a retest coming back down into that 80 to 90 cent sort of range, or we're just looking at it consolidating up here because it is time. The reason that I don't have confidence that XRP is going to just crash is because Brad Garlinghouse met with Donald Trump. We got a pro-crypto president coming in. We've got everything positive in a narrative fashion for XRP, and it's been 7 years of consolidation. Excuse me. By the way, I got my wisdom tooth removed. Blew a blood clot yesterday. Unbelievable. Right after the show. So the next move here, I mean, when you start to break this down and you look at it, the next breakout, $2.52. So when people start saying $3, that makes perfect sense. Not that we, what we would look like is maybe just getting a big wick going up in here, hitting $3, and then coming back down into this 252 range. And then we'll just start looking at, what is the next impulse move from there. And, guys, this is going to get crazy. XRP is going to get absolutely insane. It is just a matter of timing. Now, we're talking about that today, but it's going to be a few days, in my opinion. I don't know shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm guessing just like everybody else based on what a chart tells me is getting ready to happen next. And we're going to talk a lot about that. We're going to look at history to give you an idea of what's about to happen, because Thanksgiving does have an impact. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I think in just a few moments. Now, let's move on. Binance unveils a major update for SHIB, ADA, FLOKI, and HBAR. So on On November 19, Binance Exchange announced significant updates to the leverage and margins pair. These updates are designed to enhance market stability by adjusting leverage options across various position sizes. For ADA, positions under 10,000 will maintain leverage of 51 to 75 with a 0.5 maintenance margin rate. Positions between 10 and 50,000 will see the leverage reduced while the margin rate stays at 1%. Similar adjustments have been made to contracts like BONK and SHIB, affecting leverage and margin rates for various position sizes. According to Binance, these updates aim to create more balanced risk environment. Traders should review the update leverage tiers to ensure they align with their positions. So you're getting a change in the way that the leverage positions are being done on Binance to make it quote unquote fair for all, because there's a lot of volatility. And I think what they're really trying to do is just kind of balance out the volatility and reduce some of the perceived risk that you have and incentivize you to make quicker trades. I don't know. They're making some changes. So if you're trading on Binance, shout out to you. Next up, Polygon eyes a massive 50% breakout. And by the way, I want to show you what I thought was the next move on Polygon. I think this actually is about to break out into a significant sort of rally. The next big move here is from here to here, boom, 56 cents. So I would be eyeing a breakout for Matic to 56 cents right here, coming up very shortly. And then if it gets a real full-on breakout, then we're talking about 81 cents, which previously, by the way, I'm on the hour instead of the daily. Oh my God. As a matter of fact, hold on one second here. Let's remove some of this old stuff right here. Look at this over the longer term. Right here to here. Yeah, there we go. All right. So the big breakout right there, yeah, right around 80 cents. So I think that we're gonna see a big move to about 80 cents. The problem that we're gonna run into is when you pull this back out here, 50 cents is gonna represent some prohibitive resistance all the way up to 60. Then you're gonna have like smooth sailing, a little bit of 65 right here. It's this one at the golden ratio right here. Probably some a little pause right there. And by the way, the reason that I'm giving you that is because of volume nodes over here. There's a big volume node from 50 to 60 cents. There's a big one right here at 68 cents. And then that's where you get into this 80-cent range right there. That's where the big volume node is. So that's the one that we're looking for this for the next big breakout. And then once it gets into 80 cents, there's going to be a lot of resistance until we get up above $1. And then that's when Paul is going to absolutely break out, or could absolutely break out from there. So I would be watching for another big move. Polygon whales have accumulated 140 million more Polygon tokens, worth 56 million over the last several days. And look, the whales know that it's time for a pump, right? They get in early. They start the trend. And what happened over here, when you look at it on the 1 hour chart, then you see here they've clearly started a trend of movement over the last bunch of hours. This is the 15th. This was 4 days ago. So over the last 4 days, we saw a move from here all the way up, 33% pump on Polygon. Now, if that's enough to attract new investors in, then I would suspect that you're going to have another big move, with that big move coming up into this sort of area right here at around 50 cents for the moment, and then doing a little bit of a dump, and then boom, breaking out to that 57 level. So that's what I suspect is going to happen to Polygon over the next couple of days. Now, in continuing on, Cynthia Lummis, Cynthia Lummis said that the strategic Bitcoin reserve is a modest proposal with a huge upside. And what she's looking for is, she's put in, I think it's SB 49204, something like that, for Bitcoin to have a strategic reserve. And she's going to get, and by the way, if she doesn't get the support of the current administration, it will not matter at all. She will get the support of the Republican Party, who are taking power in January. So the Senate will now be Republican-led, along with the House also Republican-led, which means that a lot of these things that we've been waiting for will start to come through, and they will start to pass. And that's going to be a very cool thing for this market ultimately. So if we get this strategic reserve, how much Bitcoin can the US government buy? How much will they need to buy in order to hold up that strategic reserve? And how much Will Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, how much would they be able to allocate in freeing up funds from the government? How much will they be able to allocate? And by the way, there's a lot going on in this. And I don't want to get sidetracked here too much, but I saw a thing yesterday that said that if certain people, Kash Patel, became the director of the FBI, like Trump has proposed, that a bunch of FBI agents would quit. Exactly. That's exactly right. And they should quit. If they can't work for whomever it is, they shouldn't be in the job to begin with, because they're not objective. They're there to do their job. And they're not there to run political ploys and tactics, right? We've just figured out that look, woke is probably not dead, but woke ideology is taking a massive hit over the last few days. And as you were watching, a lot of people are starting to, like, this is really not going well for them. They're not holding up very well. But look, I think that over the next little while, we're going to see a crash of, you got to hire because of skin color. You got to hire because of ability, disabilities, whatever it is, whatever it is. All of that is going down right now. Now, will it continue to go down? No, because look, we need to be tolerant. We need to be accepting of people. I don't care if you want to be called I don't care if you want to be called a Grinch. I don't care if you want to be called a dude and you got a vajayjay. I don't care, right? I'll call you whatever, but you have to tell me in advance. You can't get mad at me for not knowing because you dress funny and you act weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't expect me, because then you would call it disrespectful in the event that I was wrong. So we do have to account for some of that, and we will. But for right now, everybody who doesn't want to be in the government, who doesn't want to work there because Donald Trump is in charge, quit. That's what they want you to do anyway. And you'll be better off for it, because then you'll be able to go out here and you'll be able to post all day long on X, and Elon will pay you for it. Ta-da. Problem solved, biatch. All right, so let's move on. Meme coins like Doge and Pepe, how high could they soar in 2024? Well, there was a lot put into SHIB just in the last couple of days. And when you look at where SHIB is right now, you got to like the way it's consolidating in this big range. It had that big breakout at the early part of November. We finally got that big move we were looking for. And what is it doing? Well, it's doing exactly what some of these other ones that I told you were doing. It's pumping through. Oops, let's go here. It's creating this little consolidation sort of range right now. Now, this did break out a little bit above it, but generally speaking, this has been the trend line right here. So you're looking for another breakout. And if it breaks out the way that it broke out before, from this area to this area, then you would be looking at a move up here exactly to what I told you guys a long time ago, was that long-standing trend line that we have right here. It's not coincidence, by the way, that happens. And then after that, I suspect we're going to get a breakout here to 408, and I think that that's coming very, very soon. So about a 3x for SHIB over the next little while. And why would I look at it from that context? Well, because of what Doge did. Doge went up, what is this percentage? Let's just consider for a second the Doge breakout right there. That was about 300%, right? So if we're looking at 300%, then we got to look at SHIB, and we got to say, well, SHIB's going to do what Doge does. So we'll look at that impulse move right there. And what is 300% from that range? Well, if we come down here, boom, we're looking at 300%. And then where does that put us? That puts us right there at that previous all-time high. So I'm going to say this. I think that we're going to get that previous all-time high very, very soon from SHIB, because it did not break out the same way that Doge did. Doge now has a $57 billion market cap. SHIB still only a $14 billion market cap. So I'm going to say that I think that we've got it very, very soon. Very, very soon. The money from Doge is going to shift back into SHIB. We'll see Doge come down to around 40 billion. And then SHIB will start to surge really big over the next couple of weeks. So get ready for another big move off of that. Doge, I think, goes to 100 billion at some point very, very soon. I think it's going to be the first one that goes to 100 billion. And then Pepe. After that, We've got Pepe, which is, by the way, breaking out, new all-time high, getting ready to soar yet again. But where is Pepe on this list? Number 18 at 8 billion market cap. A 50 billion market cap for Pepe is probably on tap. So there's probably about a 6 or 7x for Pepe coming in the next little while. And it should be noted, there's about $4 billion in trade volume every day compared to 1.2 billion for SHIB, compared to 10 billion for Doge. So there's a little more interest right now in Pepe than there is in SHIB, but I don't think that that will hold. I think that SHIB will get its nice big run first, and then Pepe will have its come up from there. And there's a few more down here like Bonk and stuff like that. I'm not as convinced on Bonk as some other people might be, but we do have to respect that it has a higher trading volume than SHIB. As a matter of fact, Dog with Hat is very close to SHIB in that same regard. So I think there's going to be a lot of big moves coming very, very soon. And should also be noted, FLOKI has about half of what SHIB is at 571 million. So, you know, these things are going to get their moves very, very soon. Peanut the Squirrel, by the way, in the top 100. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of meme coins moving really rapidly, really, really soon. So you guys, you're about to make it. Next up, Wall Street giants are loading up on MicroStrategy shares as Microsoft has outperformed Bitcoin year to date. And by the way, not only has it outperformed year to date, this is what MicroStrategy has done. It's at $400. Like, are you shitting me? This is a year ago, okay? This is December, well, 2 years ago. This is December of 2022. For 2 years, in 2 years, MicroStrategy has gone up. Look at this. This is absolutely bonkers. 2,800%. Actually, it's more than that because I didn't even get the top of that wick. But just for it's 28x. MicroStrategy. If you had put all of your money into MicroStrategy 2 years ago, at the same time that the Bitcoin bull run started, by the way, remember that this was the end of December, beginning of January. This was the bottom. Okay. Bitcoin, it's up, I want to say from 16,000 to 90,000, about 5x. Let's be fair, 5 or 6x. Call it 6x from where it is. MicroStrategy is up 28x. So Michael Saylor, he is going to be the man when all of this is said and done. He had the most massive breakout of these big time tech stocks in a long time. So MicroStrategy is now the darling of the industry. And here's the thing. MicroStrategy doesn't have to, a lot of people are wondering this. Well, when do you, I mean, you can't realize any profit until you sell your Bitcoin. Rich people don't buy and sell like that. That's not what they do. Is they create an asset. Bitcoin is the asset. Now, what they do is borrow against that asset. And as long as they make good decisions on their borrowing power, then they continue to grow. And by the way, if you borrow against your Bitcoin to buy more Bitcoin and Bitcoin continues to go up, then you made a bunch of money off of your own money twice. So that's what's going to happen. They're going to hold their Bitcoin on their ledger for a long time until Michael Saylor's gone. You know, I don't think we're going to see anything until then. And I think he intends to hold for $1 million per Bitcoin. I think that's what he ultimately sees as the next big move. So I don't think he's playing around. So MicroStrategy, if you don't have any, you missed out. You didn't get your 28x off of it. Oh well. Next dip, maybe. Anyway, so now options becoming a big deal on ETFs, the Bitcoin ETF. So Bitcoin is changing hands around 92,000, 2% below the record price. In the US, it's expected that options trading for the Bitcoin ETF will start today. Options on BlackRock's IBIT cleared last regulatory hurdle on Monday, and they could bring more institutional appetite for largest cryptocurrency. This marks a monumental shift, says 10x Research. The product could attract significant trading volumes, potentially driving sharp price rallies in Bitcoin. Now, what are we looking for? We're looking for trade volume to increase today based on this new launch. Now, if that happens, then you can expect Bitcoin to have and continue a massive rally. In fact, let's look at it today. The market is only up $9 billion on the day. Ethereum is bottoming out, down 4%. And by the way, there's a lot of different cryptos out here today that are down quite a bit on the daily. However, Bitcoin is up 1.5%. This is the Bitcoin market still. So nothing has fundamentally changed about this market. And I'm going to tell you in just a moment what I think is getting ready to happen in this market, by the way. So you come down here, by the way, and you can see the bonk again breaking out. Centrifuge up 18%. Graph is up 7% on the day. Quant is up 5%. Rest of the market, just kind of meandering along, not really breaking out or anything like that. DevvE, by the way, did break out about 14%, but for my money, that was really just kind of a big solo buy. Somebody was looking, it looked like somebody was DCAing their way in and just adding to their bag. But what it did was it gave you that what area I told you, which is very important, right? Which is this golden zone. And now it's time to break out and test that new high. Now, if you guys remember what I told you before, what I told you just a few minutes ago was this, that the move is from the bottom up to the top, then it comes down into your little ratio here, and then it comes up to the 236, and then it comes back down into your ratio, and then it goes and it tests the all-time high, and then it comes back down into this range, and then that's when it breaks out. Well, that's exactly what's playing out right here on this chart. You're actually witnessing this playing out real time. So I would suspect that the next move here for DevvE is a move up into 50 cents over the next couple of days. So, and by the way, that's going to be along with, it'll make sense in just a minute. Hold on to that. Remember, DevvE probably to 50 cents over the next day, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. How long do we have before? About a week. So within the next week, I would say that a move to 50 cents is very likely for DevvE at a minimum. At a minimum, I'm not saying that that's going to be the stop or the start or anything like that. Just at a minimum, I think 50 cents is the next big breakout move for DevvE. Now, the reason that I do that is because of this. Now, let me get you a longer chart over here. We are in the range where I told you a long time ago we would consolidate before we made another big move, right? This next big move is right up here. It's around 97. It's 96.1. I'm going to call it 97 though. And if you've listened to me, I do keep saying 97 is, I think, the move that we're going to go to before a correction. Now, this is the market. This is what it looks like. This is what's happening. Now, for an idea of what is really, really, really going to happen, we're going to move back over here and we're going to go to previously. This was the last election. And look, symmetry is what matters, okay? Things don't always rhyme. They're not always going to be perfect, but you will start to see a little symmetry. So here, right here, that was the election. Then we had the post-election bump. This was when Donald Trump lost and Joe Biden won. Okay, so just consider this. This is what happened under Joe Biden. So it should be bigger under Donald Trump. Okay. Now, what happened was we got that nice little surge. We got the surge. And then this right here. What happened right here? Thanksgiving. So at Thanksgiving, let's narrow this down a little bit. Let's put a little focus on it. So in this range right here, what we saw a pump, just kind of keep going. We got a little sideways action as we got into the weekend, and we got a little bit more pump, and then we got to Thanksgiving, and then we had a big Thanksgiving dump. Now the Thanksgiving dump at that point was from the top to the bottom, about 17% in one day. Now you got to ask yourself what caused that. Not really sure exactly what caused that move right there. Because, I mean, again, it's 4 years ago. Could just be that they were laying out looking for liquidity, which we'll get to in just a moment. But right after that, what you got was this big double top right here. Okay, so you see that double top right there? Down here, what you got was this move right here. Now, what that means is you got a bearish divergence. So what you got is you had this top right here, then you had this correction, then you had another pump that goes and surges a little bit higher, but your RSI shows that you went lower. And what does that mean? Well, what that means is that the same investors that were pumping this price were continuing to buy and pump this price. New investors were not stepping in. And that is generally a sign that somebody's trying to manipulate the market and that you're due for a dump. So that's exactly what happened. Now, that's what I expected, or that's what happened over here. So let's go back now and let's look at the chart today and see where we are. And let's get rid of this And let's get rid of this. And let's look at it from this standpoint. Okay, so the election was right over here, November 5th, right here. The same surge happened, the same surge happened, the same surge happened, the same surge is happening. So what is the next step? Well, the next step, in my opinion, is over the next, we got until, this is, what is today? So we got next week, next Thursday, right here. That's going to be where, that line right there is going to be Thanksgiving. So here's what I think is going to happen on this day right here. Boom. All right. Perfect. You know what? We're going to get rid of that because now it's just going to bother the shit out of me until it's gone. All right. So there. All right. So that is Thanksgiving. So from now until Thanksgiving, we go up to 97,000. So this is what I think is going to happen. We're going to keep going. And then boom, we're going to hit this. We're going to go sideways. And then this is the day we're going to dump. Now, what's that 15% look like? Was it 17%? So 17% actually takes us down into our golden zone, which is at 80,000. So if we get a little symmetry to this, then let's get rid of that. And we're going to do this. Then we're going to come down here. We're going to go sideways. We're going to come down here into this range right here. And then boom, we're going to break out and we're going to come up here. And then we're going to come up here like this. And then we are absolutely a go. And now the market starts to explode. That is the way that it happened the last time. And what we got was a bearish divergence right here, which caused that market correction. But the important part here is we went to 97,000, or we're going to 97,000, 96, 97, 98. We're not going to get 100,000. We're going to dump back down because we got close enough. Then we're going to come back up here and we're going to take out 100,000 right after Thanksgiving in the early part of December. And then we're going to have another correction. And then we're just going to continue on. And then somewhere around Christmas, we're going to go sideways. And then the real bull market is going to start. That's when the altcoins are going to absolutely take out. Okay. I don't know. I don't speak your Bluka language, man. I have no idea what you're talking about here. Last time we have two Joe Dummy to office, the market still soared. We still got a bull run. Doesn't matter who the president is. I keep saying that to you. So just remember, it just keeps happening. It doesn't matter how much. Okay. Now, Selmo of the Bitcoin's not going above 30 Selmos says January 20th, 2025, Bitcoin 100,000. Now that could be possible, but I don't think so. I think that like you and me, a lot of us, and I'm trying not to do that right now, are underselling the market and how much thirst and appetite there is right now for Bitcoin, not the broader crypto market in general, just Bitcoin. And I think that a surge to 100,000 is coming up very, very soon. It's going to be a lot sooner than January. It's going to be in December. In fact, it could be that I'm completely wrong and it just wicks up to 100,000 like today or tomorrow. And then instead it's going to do this and we're do 104,000 on that dip. And then boom, we're just going to absolutely break out. So I would say by January 20th, 110,000 right here, this 618 line right there. Just as an example. And I don't know that to be the case, but I'm just saying that I think that we are underestimating how bullish Bitcoin is in the world right now, and it's only going to get more exciting. And then this, of course, this is the January 20th is going to be the inauguration. That's going to be when Trump takes office. That's when I think it goes up again, higher and higher and higher. I don't think that has anything to do with it at this point. I think that's when we're going to see the banana zone begin. And that's when we start to see that big move into the 120, 130, 140. That would be my guess about what is going to happen. Now, for Ethereum, we have to recognize that Ethereum is not really breaking out in a way that we thought it would. So if we grab a fib tool from this impulse move that we saw that just happened right here, I would suspect that we just saw a move down in here and then a correction back up to the 236. This to me looks like Ethereum might struggle just a little bit. We might need to come down here for a test around 2950, maybe even down into 2900. And then it's going to come back up here. And I think, we can consider this as probably that secondary break. and then boom, it pumps up here and then breaks out right there, and we have a 3,800. We have a 3,800 breakout for Bitcoin or for Ethereum over the next little while. So I think that everything is really going to kind of respond accordingly. DevvE, by the way, is still breaking out. Solana consolidating over the last 2 days at $247. Like, it's getting ready for another gigantic breakout too. Like, if we just, again, like, some of this shit just not making any sense right now. The FIB tool right here, and then we broke out after that. So what is the next big move here? $330, $267, $260. This is a previous all-time high, by the way. So I think that in the next couple of days, Solana gets into a 260, and then it breaks out and probably goes up into this 332 range. So by the way, go long on everything. I mean, at this point, just Jesus Christ, it's everything is really starting to get set for that big breakout. Now, the other thing is, if we take this and we just kind of assume that the impulse move, we'll do it that way and call that the full impulse move, because if we look at it on a weekly, that's what we would see anyway. So we see a continuation of this move. So that tells me that the next big impulse move could be just beyond this 270, 260 number and just right up into 285. Like, we could see. The problem with that is that, there's a lot of people that are just going to want to sell the top on something. Oh, by the way, I have that wrong. It's not, it's actually should be right there. Right where my green. I was wondering why that thing was off a little bit. So anyway, that was the top, and that's lock. All right, so that checks out now, and I don't need that green line. So good for me. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Anyway, so 261, we'll see a dump at that point, but then we'll just see a breakout. And I mean, we're almost there for a continuation of Solana. So another big breakout getting ready to happen. Now, MSI has been the reverse. And look, I know that there's going to be moments right now because you get drama, you get FUD, you get problems with some of these projects wherein people just get unhappy and they start crying and blah, 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 blah. Ticker Trending is working to increase its exposure by integrating Solana payments into Ticker Trending. So that is a pretty big move for MSI. And, right now you can see here that you've got a lot of different ones, and you've got Solana Epstein. You've got Mott over here. You've got Peanut, the #1 TikTok squirrel. You got Forky. You've got BNB projects over here. You've got LFGO. So you've got Solana projects, and you've got opportunities. Now it's a question of getting people to come check your project out. Come check this place out. Go look. Do some Ticker Trending. You can, by the way, you can pop on this right here, and then guess what? You can do your charts from in here. We'll talk to Pablo, by the way, and see. We've got a decent run of indicators, so we might be able to do something with this, and it's probably brought to us by TradingView. So it doesn't say, yeah, it is TradingView. So we'll probably be able to start using this instead of DEX tools very, very soon. So maybe we'll start doing some charting over here over the next couple of days using Ticker Trending, and we'll set some stuff up and we'll see how it looks, and I'll get my favorite list and all that kind of stuff. But certainly check out MSI token. And by the way, when you look at MSI token right now, I think it dumped a little bit just a while back. MSI, there we go. Yeah, we had a nice little dump down into the 78 range, got bought back up pretty immediately. But I mean, the thing is that you see a lot of people buying and selling on this chart, micro trading, if you will, which is, I mean, that's good. That's the kind of volume that you've really kind of needed, or that you really want to have. So, still gonna have to work on this downward momentum, this downward trajectory. That's not great. You want to see a break back towards the top. Now, here's the thing. This is the resistance line right here. And you can just kind of see here that over the last bunch of days, you've just kind of wicked up there to it. You've just kind of wicked up there to it. Now you got to break out. Now, normally when you break out to the side and you back test over here before you start to have a breakout. So if there is a breakout on MSI, it might take a few more days for it to manifest itself, if it even does that. We may not even be at the bottom yet, but 2.4 million market cap. I do think this is going to be, 20, 50, 100 million market cap. And look, I'm not even selling you. I'm not even trying to upsell you. I'm just saying that this is a meme coin market at some point, and meme coins with some kind of function, some kind of use, tend to perform really well. It just takes a little bit of a narrative. And the good part about Pablo is he's got plenty of money to get you listed on exchanges. And when you look at MSI broadly, and check it out here, the volume is $200,000. There's 200,000 in trading volume over here, up 23% on the day. So there's actually some pretty significant trading volume coming from Gate.io, BingX. So I think that, you know, at some point he's going to have to kind of reach out and get some big listings. So don't sleep on MSI. That would be a mistake. Now, DevvE on a recent article, Cointelegraph pinpointed the major roadblocks that prevent major RWA growth. Let's look at one of those. Let's look at those one by one and check out how DevvE can help. RWA verification is fragmented, and DevvE offers compliant and efficient data superhighway that can be used for multiple purposes. Custody management. DevvE's technology is patent protected, including self-sovereign identity and privacy patents. Proof of RWA legitimacy. This one is regulated by the previous topic, which already solved by DevvE. RWA's court acceptance. DevvE is built from the start to be the bridge from the traditional world and the blockchain. It's the whole purpose for it to be an RWA. And when RWAs are discovered, they haven't been, but they will be soon. When they are, this is where DevvE comes into play and becomes an integral part of business going forward. Yeah, so you can go check this out. There's an article up on Cointelegraph where you can look at what RWA does. But DevvE, big in the ecosystem. DevvE currently up 20% on the day, having a nice little breakout. Again, from what I could see down here when I was looking at it, this was all just, you know, one or two wallets right there doing a big buy up, and then it dipped down, did a standard fib retracement. It looks like, let's call it right there. Yeah, came right down into the golden zone. Looks like it's going to bounce back up to 32, come back down here into 3, and then break out to that previous high, which is around 34, 35. Otherwise, it could break out. And by the way, when I say this, I'm guessing like anybody else. I'm just saying that based on trends and based on the way things normally happen, that's what you end up seeing, right? So I would think that we're probably coming up here at 34 one more time, and it's going to be time to break through this resistance. Now, this resistance here, this area starts around 35 cents, but there's a lot of volume in this range right here. So in the event that we can break out of this, then you're looking at a big move, and a big move would come up to 47 cents, I think. Yeah, around 47 cents would be, oh, the reason this is looking ridiculous is because I'm on the hour, duh. There we go. All right. So 47 cents starts right around here. This is where the resistance is. So you're going to have a break into 35. You break above that, then it's 47. So I would think that we're going to have a nice little rip coming very soon on that. So check out DevvE. If you haven't already, go check out Coin. Let's see what they got going on today. And now has utility, 230% APR worth of it. Stop by our Telegram and learn how to put your money to work. So if you're holding a bag of Coin, then you can now add to the liquidity pool and earn 230%. And you would be earning, this is important, I think, Bonk and MG. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what MG is right now, but earning Bonk actually seems like a pretty big deal. So if you have not, you should probably get yourself a little bit of Bonk or a little bit of CCC and earn yourself a little bit of Bonk. You never know when this thing is going to break out. And this today presents my final coverage of KENDU. Now, KENDU, not having the breakout that, you know, a lot of these different projects were looking for, but it's not because of KENDU or because anything that KENDU has done is wrong. I told you yesterday over here, take your profit, take it now, make sure that you've won, get your big win. It's bouncing off of the 786, which usually is a strong motivator for that next big move, which is what I said. I think we're going to have that next big move. Then we'll have another back test, and then we'll have a breakout. So get ready for a big move coming on KENDU over the next couple of days. And by the way, when you look around the market, the wrapped ETH market just seems to be just kind of down. We're struggling with it just a little bit. which sucks, by the way. However, some of these large market caps, people trying to find just new stuff. Andy, by the way, up 15%. Shout out to I think it was Just in Time, who sent me some Andy. And by the way, he sent it to me like over here when it was like down in this range right here. So shout out to him. Matter of fact, my Andy bag is now more than my daddy bag, which is bullshit, but also okay. You know what I mean? All right. By the way, finishing my teeth tomorrow. So, all right. So that covers that. I'll be doing a video on Speedy today and Terra Luna Classic. So just in case you are wondering what to watch, Solana continues to surge. Ethereum, big time move here, up to 3 billion in volume. But Solana, 7 billion in volume. Total value lock just went just crazy, 8.4 billion. Ethereum, by the way, starting to catch up. So, you know, we might still have some life in Ethereum after all. So base KENDU, make sure you go check it out. CHEDDA on Solana, go check that one out as well. Also down about 12% on the day. Again, you know, just the meme coins getting just the oxygen sucked out. But this is the actual move that you're looking for. So what you would hope for is a rebound back up into that 236 because you haven't seen that secondary surge. So, you know, a nice 2.5x from where it is right now seems to be on tap. If not, then just another breakdown, just a little bit more into that 786, and then boom, just a full-on breakout, 3 or 4x from where it is right now. So I would certainly be looking for something like that to be happening over the next little while. You never know exactly when it's going to break out, but you know, when you're looking at meme coins, you're going to get breakouts at some point. As far as the Bitcoin ETF flows, yesterday we had an inflow of 254 million, which kind of offset over the last couple of days the outflow on Thursday and Friday of last week. And that was a good sign. Still up massively since the introduction. The Ethereum ETF had outflows, had another big day of outflows. You don't like to see that, but overall, you're still up. So Ethereum's still in a good position, but 39 million out, 59 million out. So that ate up this one day over here. So you got some positive inflows, but you want to see that continue, and we haven't seen that continue just yet. So that's it. Let's liquidity. We're gonna save that for tomorrow. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. XRP ready for a big breakout. Some of these meme coins going to have just absolute explosive moves. I think Bitcoin's headed to 97,000, dipping down to about 85 to 90,000, maybe even down to 80,000, and then it's going to explode back to 100,000. But I think this is all kind of just programmed in, and it's all happened before, and it will happen again. So in the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. It's not financial advice. I'm always right. I appreciate each and every one of you. Donald Trump has won the 2024 election and will be your president, the first pro-crypto president. Bitcoin currently trading at around $87,000. This is the ideal moment for effective management of your own investment portfolio. Since 2019, Cryptonomy has experienced exponential and substantial growth, with revenue closing near 2.4 billion euros and insurance coverage of up to 6.1 billion on all company assets. Now listen, guys, the big move here for me, in my fixed staking pool, I'm going to go all in on a little bit more XRP. I've got 5,900 XRP right now. I'm going to go into the 9-month for 71% return. We're going to continue. We stake close to 6,000 XRP just now with a 71.8% return over 9 months. This launch pool is blowing up. As you can see right here, OpenServe just went 7x. Getting a significant yield off of that. We got 1.9 on Satoshi Dex. We had a 2.58 on Tap Protocol, 2.1 on Talent, 3.1 on Cross. All right, guys, we're going 10 Ethereum into a bronze tier. Contract end date November 12, 2025. I expect to make a return of at least a decent amount, 50% profit sharing. When we got that last one, it was 7x. So I'm going to assume here that this is going to be a real good play. If you haven't already, don't forget myself, Dean DCA, Lift Capital, Aaron Burke, we're all doing articles for this organization. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more about cryptocurrency, then this is the place to go. You want to go to Cryptonomy.finance/research. Also, if you haven't already, sign up for their Telegram. The links are in the descriptions down below. And in the next 2 weeks, there's going to be a couple of big updates brought to you by all of us regarding Cryptonomy.finance. Start investing now.